The 5 Good Emperors of Rome. How they changed the history of the world. Discover the remarkable decisions, achievements, and legacies of the most admired rulers of ancient Rome, and what we can learn from them today. The history of Rome is filled with powerful names, epic battles, and palace intrigues. But among the countless emperors who ruled the Roman Empire, only 5 are remembered as the finest leaders of this ancient superpower. They didn't just expand borders, strengthen the military, or accumulate wealth. They prioritized justice, prosperity, and the well-being of the people. These are the so-called 5 Good Emperors of Rome: Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus, Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. In this video, you'll discover their stories, their greatest achievements, and why they are still considered timeless models of leadership. Get ready for a fascinating journey through one of the most stable and glorious periods of Roman history. Nerva, the emperor of transition and hope. The year was 96 AD. Rome had just witnessed the bloody end of Emperor Domitian's tyrannical rule. Morale was broken, the Senate humiliated, and the people anxious. In this chaotic scenario, Nerva emerged, an experienced senator chosen to restore order and stability. Already elderly when he took the throne, Nerva had no interest in military glory or expansion. His greatest legacy was restoring the dignity of the Senate and initiating a new era of trust between rulers and citizens. He implemented fairer tax policies, freed political prisoners, and set a revolutionary precedent. He adopted Trajan, a promising young general, as his heir. This decision, choosing a successor based on merit rather than bloodline, forever changed imperial succession and launched Rome's golden age. Trajan, the emperor of conquest and glory. Trajan was the first Roman emperor born outside of Italy, hailing from Hispania. When he took power in 98 AD, he inherited not just authority but the duty to continue Nerva's just rule. And he did more than that. Trajan is still remembered as the emperor who expanded the Roman Empire to its greatest territorial extent. His military campaigns in Dacia, which he personally led, not only brought victory but also massive wealth that was reinvested into the empire. He built roads, bridges, public baths, and magnificent monuments like Trajan's Column, which still stands in Rome. But Trajan wasn't just a conqueror. He was also a skilled administrator. He reduced taxes, created welfare programs for poor children, and was known to walk among the citizens with humility. For many historians, he remains the greatest Roman emperor of all time. Hadrian, the emperor who built bridges and walls. After Trajan's expansionist reign, Hadrian realized that maintaining such a vast empire was far more complex than expanding it. His rule marked a strategic shift. Instead of conquering new lands, Hadrian focused on consolidating and protecting existing territories. This included withdrawing troops from overextended regions and building massive fortifications like Hadrian's Wall in Britannia, which marked the empire's northern frontier. But Hadrian was no passive ruler. He was a cultured man, passionate about arts, architecture, and philosophy. He traveled extensively across the empire's provinces, overseeing projects, listening to the people, and embracing local cultures. Under his leadership, Rome enjoyed peace and a cultural renaissance. His legacy includes iconic buildings like the renovated Pantheon and his grand villa in Tivoli. Hadrian's reign proved that Rome's strength also lay in diplomacy, cultural integration, and internal cohesion. Antoninus Pius, the emperor of peace and justice. If Trajan is remembered for conquest and Hadrian for consolidation, Antoninus Pius symbolizes stability and peace. His 23-year reign was marked by a complete absence of major military conflicts, a rarity in Roman history. He governed wisely, delegated power to competent governors, maintained balanced public finances, and promoted justice above all else. The nickname Pius reflects his strong sense of duty, piety, and respect for both tradition and citizen rights. Antoninus abolished torture, gave more autonomy to the provinces, and reformed the legal system. During his rule, the population thrived, and trust in the government grew. He is one of the few Roman emperors to die of natural causes and was deeply loved by both the Senate and the people. Antoninus Pius proved that an empire does not need endless wars to remain strong, just honest and capable leadership. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher on the throne. Marcus Aurelius closes this sequence of good rulers as the most reflective of them all. Educated in Stoic philosophy, he viewed power as a burden and a moral responsibility. His personal writings, known as Meditations, are still read today as profound reflections on ethics, leadership, and the human condition. But his reign was far from peaceful. He faced brutal wars along the northern frontiers and a devastating plague that swept through the empire. Even amid adversity, Marcus Aurelius stood firm, leading with courage and compassion. He slept in military camps alongside his soldiers, listened to advisors, and made tough decisions always grounded in reason and justice. His greatest failure, according to many historians, was not following Nerva's example of adopting a worthy heir. Instead, he passed the throne to his son Commodus, whose tyranny marked the beginning of Rome's decline. Even so, Marcus Aurelius remains one of history's greatest examples of ethical leadership. The legacy of the 5 good emperors. The period from 96 to 180 AD, under the leadership of these 5 emperors, is considered the most prosperous, stable, and well-governed era in all of Roman history. What makes these men so admired is not just their military victories or architectural achievements, but how they understood and used power. They ruled not through fear, but through moral authority. They didn't seek personal glory, but focused on the people's well-being and the empire's long-term health. They showed that it's possible to lead with wisdom, courage, and empathy. And their example still echoes today as inspiration for leaders, scholars, and anyone interested in understanding how greatness is truly built. Their collective rule prompts a powerful reflection. What would today's world look like if modern leaders followed these same principles? If you found the story of the 5 good emperors of Rome inspiring, don't let this video end here. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the lives of history's greatest figures and the timeless lessons they offer. And tell me in the comments, which of these emperors impressed you the most? Do you believe ethical and just leadership is still possible in today's world? Let's talk about it in the comments. See you in the next video.